avoid fornication. We all know hormones are not Christian at all. Hi friends, hi loved ones. Thank you so much for joining me here on this channel. I warmly welcome you to the launch of this channel. My name is Jennifer Noma Israel Joji, aka God's Empress, and today is the launch of this channel, Higher Life with God's Empress. And this channel is going to be about marriage, family, parenting, Christian life, and everything in between. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, don't forget to join the family by subscribing, liking, and sharing our content to a loved one or a special person. God bless you so much for joining. God richly bless you. Without much ado, I would want to dive into today's topic. Why did I get married? Why did I get married? Actually, this question has been a question I've been asking myself at various phases of my life, especially when I got married, at various phases of my marital life. By the grace of God, I'm married to my best friend, and we've been married for 6 years, and we have a 4-year-old son. And through the 6 years, let's say the first 5 years of marriage has been very, very challenging. I mean, very, very challenging. It hasn't been easy at all. So, in the state of sometimes being sad, the state of sometimes being depressed or wondering or confused, I tend to ask myself, why did I get married even in the first place? And generally, the answer to this question is what has kept me up until now. The answer to this question is what keeps me going, gives me the motivating force or factor to keep on going. Generally in life, we all have reasons for doing what we do. We all have reasons for doing certain things we do, whether marriage, whether starting a business, whatever we find ourselves doing, we have a reason why we venture into that area or we do whatever we do. But the fact of the matter is that when your motive or your purpose or your reason for doing a particular thing is wrong, it's kind of sets a wrong foundation for everything. It's just like you are building and you get the foundation wrong. It doesn't make the building stand upright. You eventually get to a point and the building may collapse. So that is how it is. When the foundation or the motive or the reason for getting married or getting into a thing is wrong, sometimes it makes everything shaky. And for me personally, due to the challenges and all the things that I have been through, even though I'm not that old, I'm still young, all these things I've been through, I believe, has shaped me in a way, and it gets me asking myself this particular question: why did I even get married? So first and foremost the reason why I got married, I feel I found a marriageable material in a good Christian friend. So my husband now, formerly my beloved, was a good friend, and he being a good friend, I just found him to be marriage material, 1,000 yards, if I should put it that way. Yes. So, and he was actually my friend. So being my friend and me seeing good qualities I would want in my future husband, seeing those things in him, I was actually drawn to him. And lo and behold, thank God, he also was also drawn, and he actually proposed. You get it? Yes. So for me, that would be the first reason, that I just found a good person in this good friend, and I felt, why not? It's a good reason to marry. Another reason for marriage, the second reason, was that as we became friends, I realized that we both had shared visions or similar goals or hearts for God and the things of God. We both love the Lord and we both wanted to work in the vineyard of the Lord. We both wanted to give our best for God. We both wanted to do things to glorify God, not necessarily to be called ministers, pastors, but no. But we just wanted to work in the house of God. Out of love, we wanted to do something for God, winning souls for Him, outreaching, trying to disciple people. So it became kind of like a binding factor, a binding force. We tend to vibe more on that level. We meet, and apart from usual conversations, we are talking about God, how to make the kingdom better, and those things. So those things were kind of like things that bonded us together. And the third reason for me is actually the most important, if I should put it. It's actually the most important, even though I'm mentioning it as the third reason. What sustained everything is that I had a clear conviction about my partner. Clear conviction being that I sought the face of God, and I just knew that this was God's will for my life. He was actually God had actually given me a green light, a go ahead, and He actually had approved of us being together. So I believe that approval is what kept me, because I knew who I had believed. I knew I had heard from God, or I knew I had a confirmation from God, and that confirmation is what held everything together in spite of the hard times. And when I say hard times, I mean hard times. So it will be another video for another time. Let me know in the comment section if you want to know what actually happened in our first 5 years of marriage. It wasn't easy at all, but the fact that Bible says in Romans chapter 8 verse 14 that those that are led by the Spirit of God are actually the sons of God. And that was it for me. I actually felt I was led by the Spirit of God. So when the going went tough, when things seemed bizarre, when it felt like I was tired, I don't want to move on, the fact that I know I had the conviction from God is what kept me. And again, so the fourth reason why I got married was because I thought I was ready. I felt I was prepared for marriage. I got married at the age of 24, and at that time I felt I was ready for marriage because I had listened to lots of messages, sermons about marriage, and read books about marriage. So I just genuinely felt I was ready for marriage. But little did I know that what marriage actually entails is no child's play, is no joke. So I found out, or I realized later in marriage, that I think I wasn't really emotionally and mentally prepared. I wasn't really prepared emotionally. I wasn't really prepared mentally. So whenever challenges came up and issues came up, there were times where I just felt like I just wanted to quit. I just wanted to, I'm tired, that kind of vibe. Yes. So I think that, and this is what actually happens these days of late to the youth of today. We go into marriage, sometimes we think we are ready, but in actual sense, maybe we need a little bit of maturity. Like in my case, I think maybe a little bit of maturity would have helped, in emotional maturity, mental maturity. But all in all, by the grace of God, He helped me sail through. Like the point I stated early on, the point before this one, that I just knew that God was in it. I just knew that I had the conviction from God. So even though, yes, when my unpreparedness or my emotional immaturity came in here and there, at least because I just knew that God was in the picture, it kept me together. And the final reason was, obviously, we wanted to avoid fornication. We all know hormones are not Christian at all, so we just wanted to avoid fornication. And so we felt, why not get married rather than just being around, and one thing may lead to the other. Whole lot of things can just come up. So if we are ready, then, or we are okay to get married, then why not get married? And my point, what I'm trying to drive at, is that basically when the foundation is wrong, when you are starting with a wrong reason, a wrong motive for whatever you are doing, be it in marriage, be it in business, whatever it is, if the foundation or the reason for getting into the thing is wrong, or it's not too strong enough or too solid, when the winds of life blows, there may be lots of doubts, there may be lots of challenges. When those times come, you will find out that you are not ready, you are not okay, you are not stable enough, you don't have the mental fortitude to stand. And that is actually what is needed. That is what is needed. So if you find out that when you assess your reasons and you also know that your reasons are good, for instance, I just want to encourage young people. Perhaps you are married, a young couple, you are married, things are not going as it seems, financial situations, things are hard, things are tough, you are finding a hard time, your partner seems to be different and all that. Just know that, ask yourself the question, why did I get married? Why did I start this business? Why did I get into this venture? Why did I? Ask yourself those reasons and assess your motives. If it is right as a Christian, if you assess your motive and your motives are right, you assess your reasons, your purposes, and they are right, I can assure you, you are good to go. Keep that firm. Continue to pray. Continue to trust God. Continue to just rely on God's help to carry you through, because as for the hard times, they would always come. They come in various levels, various dimensions. But when you assess your reasons or your motives and they are right, then you are good to go. But when you assess your motives and they are wrong, for instance, in marriage, your motive is because he was a fresh guy or fresh girl, he was nice, because the person was rich, because the person was eloquent, intelligent, he's a doctor, he's a professor, and all those flimsy reasons, you'll find out that when challenges of real life issues are confronting you, you would even get to know that even at that time, even the fact that he's a doctor, he's a lawyer, it doesn't even attract you. It doesn't even come into the picture. It's like, you are rich, so what? At this particular time, the emotional trauma or whatever I'm going through, I don't need your riches for anything. I actually need something more. But when your motives are right, when your reasons are good, you married because you have heard from God. You started the business because you have heard from God. You went into this career because you have heard from God, or not necessarily heard from God, but you know that He is in it. That alone keeps you. That alone keeps you strong. That alone keeps you standing. That alone keeps you unmovable and unshakable. So this evening, I would just want to encourage you that let's all assess our motives. God richly bless you. I would want to know in the comment section below how this has blessed you. Kindly share this video, like and subscribe to this channel. There are lots of good things in store. God bless you. Thank you.